She's gonna live her life one 4L60 at a time. You know what pulling that out on the 4L60 is called?
What?
Pulling the pin. So hey.
Yeah.
What do you get when you push the gas with the 4L60 on your truck?
Get more 460 jokes.
Maybe. What do you get?
Well, what's the answer?
4 neutrals.
Shit! Okay, so you saw, I mean, you get the gist. We're throwing in a 4L80. Also, you saw the title. So, yeah, I thought I was going to get to drive the truck, and I thought it was going to be great. But I kept telling myself that I wanted to have a vehicle that I could drive to the drag strip and then drive home. And in that same sentence would say that I had a 4L60E. And yes, there's going to be people that are going to go in the comments and they're going to say, well, you know, they've been putting 4L60s behind Corvettes and all that stuff. And yes, they have. It's not the same 4L60 that you find behind the truck. It's really close, but they've got some different clutches, you know, shit like that. And that's just the way it is. So I wanted to have something that was a bit stronger. And I have that. So right here is my 4L80E. I pulled this out of a van. They actually say to pull them out of a van because it's less likely that they were used to haul anything. Which makes sense. I mean, most people use vans just like, you know, hauling stuff inside, but they rarely ever tow with them. So this should be good. And based on the dash, it only had 113,000 miles on it. I suspect that the engine must have blown or something, because it looked like, I don't remember if I saw any damage on the vehicle or not, but I do believe that this is fine. I'm not too worried about that part. I'm not even going to go in there and rebuild it, because I think that's the reason why this 4L60 is having issues, is because yeah, I did it. So yeah, there's the torque converter for it. So I got to get the excuse me, I got to get the flex plate. And I think I have to have a spacer maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm gonna find that out and get that stuff on the way. It should be here probably this weekend or something. Who knows? But in order to do that, we gotta get this up on the jack stands. Not on jack stands. We're gonna put them on the ramp because we don't have to pull tires off. So put it up on the ramps. That way we can hopefully leave the motor in place. I hope to just drop the transmission because, I mean, you have access. I can get to bolts and stuff like that behind there, especially if I remove the intake manifold. I can get to all those bolts back there, and it's really not that hard to remove the intake manifold. But there's a chance that I may have to pull all of this out. God, I hope I don't. But yeah, if I do, I don't think the trans is gonna slide under there. Not that one for sure is not gonna slide under the truck the way it is. Yeah, it is definitely not gonna go under there. But when it's on the ramps, maybe, because it's still on the ground. So let's go ahead and get it on the ramps so that way we got that taken care of. All right, so we are down here under this truck. Let's talk about why we're doing it. So there's some leaks, some weird spots, like right there at the at the torque convert, or at the bell housing. There's two sides to it, and then there's been some leaks around the oil pan. Despite torquing them down, you know, I torqued all the bolts down to spec and in the pattern, and then I torqued them down even more because they kept leaking, and then it still leaked, so I torqued it down all the way, and yeah, it still leaks. Not as much, but it still leaks. And if you know anything about transmission fluid, it is flammable, and if it leaks from that oil pan, it usually hits that exhaust or somewhere near it, and no flames. We don't need that. And there might be, yeah, we gotta pull that transmission out, put that 4L80 in, excuse me, and yeah, we'll be good. Should be good. I don't know what the condition is of the 4L80, but it's probably not gonna be that bad. So we're gonna drain the fluid, do all that good stuff. You know how to remove a transmission. Okay, so there is the old 4L60. See, it's not so green anymore. Just thinking about it, this thing was solid green when I put her in there like 2 years ago. But you can see how much she's been leaking. And I mean, it's crazy. So I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of all of this. You know, put in a whole new engine. You can see where I tried to make sure that the ring wouldn't come off. Look at that. Okay, so that's what happened with that. That's interesting. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. That was brand new. And okay. Whatever. Let's see what the deal is with the 4L80. See if we're gonna get a dipstick on that thing. Because that was a challenge. And then this is the new girl. So the dipstick will go in right here. So I don't know if that's a nice little injector sitting there. I'll be able to run the freaking cooling lines. I think I'm gonna mount the cooler in the bed. I actually already have the cooler. I just gotta get some fittings and whatnot. Nothing major. I'm gonna replace these fittings right here with AN fittings, and we'll just run some AN line up and out and over to it. And then I just gotta put these speed sensors back on that side, and then I also I have all of the parts for that as well. So, and then there's a jumper harness that I can get that goes for this right here. There we go. And it just literally jumps over from the original harness that I have for the 4L60 to the 4L80, and it'll be nice and easy. And then I already have the torque converter, but I gotta get the flex plate. So nothing major. Okay, so what we actually need to do here, let me get my handy dandy light out so you can see a little better. See that little seam that goes right along right there? Now, typically that would hang down, it would kind of like come, you know, down this way. And so what you want to do is actually fold that up and get it up in there as much as you possibly can. I actually thought I got it a lot further than I did, because when I had the engine out, I was like, well, I see that being an issue at some point. So I went ahead and moved it up, but I didn't move enough up enough. But now that we're here, I'm gonna take this here wooden dowel here, and what we do is we'll just sit there and work our way along, and we'll sit there and work our way along and going down and doing this as we go, and then until it's all nice and flat up there, because really honestly it's probably out of the way. The main one is up here. The main part is going to be up here where the top bolt is. That's going to be where our main issue is. All these other spots aren't too terribly bad. Like this one, it's not going to come out past this right here. So I mean, this is actually good. I probably won't take this in anymore, but like from here all the way around to say like right here, maybe even, because it doesn't look like it's exactly centered in there, or at least the way that the tunnel was designed, it doesn't look centered. So most of this is going to be going to here. Like I said, I'm not too worried about this area. Now we'll probably run into some issues hitting these, and we may have to remove these. So it's possible. So but thanks to Michael for helping me get this little son of a gun out, because yeah, it was challenging trying to get it out from underneath here. But sorry I blinded you guys, but it was completely possible to be done. So yeah, let me go back to flattening this out. Alright, so this is all you really got to do as far as clearancing as it goes for a 4L80. So that is that seam that we talked about, and it is as flat as I can get it. I don't think I can get it any more. But I can't see that, you know, if I go up in, it's going to recess it up in there, and I can't see that, you know, needing to go any further. I see some issues maybe like right up in here, maybe this general area, but you know, hey, that's going to be in the next video when we're test fitting that girl, because we're actually still waiting on a couple of parts. But yeah, this is really, like I said, all you really need to do. You know, like in the video when we're mounting the 4L80, we'll show you what we got to do to modify it. But as far as this too, this is good. All right, so that's really going to do it for us today. We got the 4L60 out, and
no more jokes.
We've modified the transmission tunnel on the truck itself, and that's really going to be all you have to do on the truck. Unless, I mean, just some freak thing, you maybe have to massage that little hump right there, but I don't think it's going to be a thing.
We'll see.
But the next video we're gonna mount the 4L80, and just to give you a heads up, we're gonna be cutting off these ears on both sides. If you're following along, you can get a heads up on it and chop yours off too, because that's what we're gonna do. Because it's gonna fit a lot better. And whenever you go to mount yours, you'll understand why you lopped it. Well, they say just the driver's side, but if you have long tubes, that passenger side one's gonna get in the way as well. So you might as well just go ahead and lop it off too.
It was a bitch getting the other one out.
Yeah, it was challenging. I mean, we probably should have just dropped the exhaust. I mean, but if you're
Stubborn.
if you've been following along with the channel, then you know why I didn't. So I mean, but I can't be afraid of that. So I'm just gonna I might, like I said, when I go to put the 4L80 in, we may have to remove the headers, or the headers. So you know, it'll be what it is. So
Well, till next time.
peace.